Happy holidays, dear friends. You know as well as I do that I basically have no set schedule of reviews, but at the very least, I always promise to have a holiday review each year, basically no matter what. So in honor of that, let's talk about Rugrats All Grown Up.
4, 3, 2, 1!
In celebration of the 10th anniversary of Rugrats, a 1-hour TV special called All Grown Up was aired. The special centered around the main cast being aged up about 10 years. It was so successful that a spin-off show was created shortly after, the difference being that the characters were 9 years older. Why the change from 10 years older to 9 years older, I have no idea. Especially since, either way, the characters are basically written as high schoolers. And like many other TV shows, there was a Christmas special. Now, Rugrats had quite a few holiday specials, including 2 Christmases, a Hanukkah, a Kwanzaa, and a Passover, so hey, this could be interesting. So the episode begins with Dill Pickles commenting on the immense amount of Christmas songs in comparison to that of Hanukkah.
You got your Silent Night, your White Christmas, your Jingle Bells Batman smells. What's Hanukkah got? The dreidel song? Yeah, that song makes no sense. Why would anyone make a dreidel out of clay when the plastic ones are basically free?
Sadly, that just makes me think of South Park. And Adam Sandler. So the rest of the gang talks about their holiday plans, including introducing a subplot with Tommy and Dill writing a new Hanukkah song.
What have you guys got going for the holidays, Chucky?
Oh, the usual. High expectations met by crushing disappointment.
I actually have to admit, Chucky had the best dialogue. So Chucky explains that every Christmas for him and his family has been horrible, and comes to the conclusion that it might be because of the sickly trees Chaz keeps getting. Because logic.
Now that you say it, they all are kind of sickly.
And brittle.
And brown. If you've got a lousy tree, you're not going to spring for the good tinsel. And if you skimp on the tinsel, why even bother with the mistletoe, the eggnog, and the gingerbread houses? It all makes sense now. 20 years of bad trees.
20 years of bad Christmases.
Really, the only thing of note here, aside from setting up character motivation, is this half-second of Chucky's mother's back. Just let the feels from Rugrats in Paris and the Mother's Day special come rushing back. Merry Christmas. So Chucky and his dad go to buy a tree from Kevin Michael Richardson, and of course Chaz wants one of the depressing ones. So Chucky goes for a walk to take out his frustration. On his walk, he finds a tree leaning against a garbage bin.
They're throwing this out? Oh, you poor thing!
Tree.
And so he takes it home to show his dad.
Wow! It's beautiful, Chucky. Where'd you get it? It must have cost you a fortune.
Not really. They were practically giving them away. So what do you think?
You could say it was a steal. So we cut to the Java Lava, which, if you recall, was the cafe Chaz and Betty opened up in the later seasons of Rugrats, where everyone is hanging out. Basically imagine the juice bar from Power Rangers, except that they actually make money.
Speaking of break, did you guys hear about that Christmas tree that was stolen the other night? Where? Right in front of the house on Greenfield.
Stolen?
Yep, the Hlickies. Well, I guess that's one family that won't be having a Merry Christmas this year.
What kind of person steals the symbol of love and human understanding? Sicko.
I'm starting to wonder if they're going to go for a similar moral like in Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, but they're going to go about it in a way that makes everybody look like a complete twit. Man, now we don't have something to decorate or put our presents under. Sure, everything else is safe and sound, but we don't have a centerpiece of holiday atmosphere. Face it, Christmas is ruined. A few quick questions, if you don't mind. Are the Hlickies poor? Do they have a tight budget? Are they a church-going family? If so, they could probably just go to the church and ask the pastor to go tell the congregation to, donate one. Or hell, it's a church, so they'll probably have a bunch of spare trees decorating the lobby, so they could probably just borrow one of those. It really does seem like that this would be a more interesting story from the Hlickies' perspective. The special itself basically establishes nothing about the family. I mean, the only visual we get is that one shot of the dad.
I say we double up on our neighborhood watch. Flush them out of town like the vermin they are.
Really? In California, all you have to worry about is petty theft? What is this, Irvine? Anyway, Chucky realizes that he accidentally stole the tree and tells Tommy about it. They agree to tell Chucky's dad about it, but then they find out that Chaz actually got into the Christmas spirit.
Oops, I smell gingerbread.
You're baking cookies?
No, houses. A complete gingerbread town, right down to the emergency call boxes.
Emergency call boxes? So now Chucky is conflicted about taking the tree back because now he has the Christmas he's always wanted, but at the cost of someone else's. Because whether or not you have a good Christmas is entirely contingent upon how well your tree looks.
I never thought it was such a bad little tree. It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love.
I mean, I get they're trying to say that it doesn't matter as long as you have someone to spend the holiday with, but they spend so much time focusing on the negatives and positives of the tree theft thing that it doesn't really come across all that well. So meanwhile, Kimmy and Kira are dealing with Japanese airport nonsense where they get bumped off the flight.
Thank you for almost flying Japan International, where service is job 1.
Why do Christmas specials feel the need to have multiple subplots? We have the main plot with Chucky, we have Kimmy and Kira's travel through hell plot, and Tommy and Dale's Hanukkah song plot. Well, I guess you have to fill out the 20 minutes somehow. So Chucky buys a halfway decent tree, but drops it like the clod he is, and then the tree is run over by some jackass who doesn't know how to swerve. Fa la 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 la.
Yo, Susie, you got a word that rhymes with dreidel?
Nothing rhymes with dreidel. Maybe that's why Hanukkah has only one song.
Let's see, cradle, ladle, natal, fatal. Okay, short list, but it's not nothing. And so Tommy and Chucky walk into the cafe, and this is where the special goes from a confusing meh to complete bullshit.
I wouldn't worry about those thieves. They'll get what's coming to them one way or another.
What does that mean?
You can't steal the meaning of Christmas without the big guy upstairs not hearing about it. Whoever took the Halicki's tree is in for a wicked smiting.
I wouldn't exactly say that I was raised going to church, and nowadays I'm basically the lone agnostic atheist in my family. But there are a few things I do remember. 1, God is all-knowing. He would know that Chucky stole the tree by accident. 2, even if Chucky stole the tree on purpose, God would not get involved because this isn't the Old Testament. Now, to be fair, these characters are about 9 to 12 years old, and I can remember saying some odd things in a similar vein at that age. But of all the times to write the characters as their ages, why now when the rest of the show seems to be written like a slice-of-life high school show without the drugs or sex? Or maybe I'm just misremembering middle school. Or hey, maybe they just kind of thought the judgment of God is sort of another version of karma, which would be odd considering that in the next season they did an episode all about karma. Oh, who even cares? The show is mediocre anyway. Moving on. So Chucky runs home to Chaz practicing with the choir.
Oh, hello, son. We were just rehearsing for the party.
You? A party?
From now on, the name Finster will be synonymous with Christmas fun. Hey, slap on a bonnet and join the choir. We're singing Oh Christmas Tree. Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches.
I think I'll go to bed. I'm drained.
Okay, we'll try to keep it down for you.
You do know that there are verses to that song, right? And it's public domain, so it's not like you're gonna get sued or anything! And Chucky has a nightmare where he imagines the Halicki's as a poor family straight out of a Dickens novel. Why? Well, probably from watching too many Christmas carols, but the thing is, almost nothing about this family is established. Well, except for this.
And it's all worth it, knowing those 6 little Licky children will have a tree to wake up to Christmas morning.
But having 6 children doesn't automatically mean that they're poor. Whatever, he's probably just being overdramatic. Alright, it's Chucky, of course he is.
Yes?
It's the burning bush guy.
I'm gonna be smited. I'm gonna be wicked smited.
Meanwhile, Kimmy and Kira are in Hawaii wondering where their luggage is, and an employee tells them straight up to choke on his nuts.
Chocolate these nuts!
Back in the States, Chucky has a mental breakdown and yells at the mall Christmas tree.
You! You with your soft branches and perfectly spaced ornaments. Look at it, Tommy. Just standing here, mocking me. Mocking me!
And even does this to the mall Santa.
Give me a break. The holidays are stressful.
Well, Christmas is a sham. What do you say to that, huh? I mean, look at this. Away in a manager's special? This is the meaning of Christmas!
Chucky, let's go.
Fine, I'll go. But not without one of these!
And so he finally cracks and breaks the news to his friends.
I never seen you like this. He's kind of attractive.
I'm the sicko who stole the tree!
It was an accident, guys. He thought they were turfing it.
I made one little mistake and now the whole town is after me. The man upstairs wants to zap me. I even have elves on my case. You know you're in trouble when the elves are after you.
I'm sure whatever you did, Chucky, God will forgive you.
Ugh, this is like VeggieTales, minus the charm.
I took the light and joy out of the family's Christmas. If you don't get smited for that, what do you get smited for?
This might sound morbid, so I apologize in advance. But, just throwing this out there, Hitler had to smite himself. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, in Mexico, Kimmy commends Kira for keeping calm throughout the trip.
Thanks, Kimmy. It means a lot to me to hear you say that. I've been through 3 states and 2 continents. I've been patient through 4 time zones. This cab is mine. Mine. It's mine.
This is mine. This is where my babies come from.
So we go to a party at the Finster house where Chucky is being miserable. But then Tommy has an idea.
Well, you stole the tree. Maybe you can unsteal it.
How do I do that?
You steal it.
Nice work. Psst. I was gonna let you in.
What? I see 2 guys inside. They have Sarah Peterson's doll, you stupid Jew!
And so the kids leave the tree for the Halicki's and run.
Oh, Chucky, I'm so sorry.
Dad, it wasn't your fault. It was those darn tree thieves. Why us? Why?
Betty warned me. I should have given you that dog early.
I'm getting a dog?
No.
You have a dog! You have 2 dogs! Remember Fifi from Rugrats in Paris? Or Pepper from that later episode of Rugrats? No? Not ringing bells, Riders? I mean, come on, Fifi was actually in an episode of All Grown Up! Wasn't she? Did I dream that? I mean, you know, if something happened, it would have been nice if it was actually addressed somewhere, you know? Anyway, Chucky is about to explain what happened when Kimmy and Kira finally make it home. So they make it home in time right after Chucky goes and does the right thing. If that was the special's way of implying that God was making their trip hell until Chucky owned up to what he did, I'll admit, that was actually a lot more subtle than that one Brothers Garcia episode. Does anyone else remember that? Brothers Garcia? That one Nickelodeon sitcom with that Latino family? Basically a Latino Wonder Years? Narrated by John Leguizamo? No one? And so Chucky learns the magic of family or something, and the special ends with Susie singing the first Noel, and Tommy and Dill singing their Hanukkah song.
They're frying in the kitchen, they're burning in the pot. salty, eat 'em by the stack. Life goes all around us, gonna make you fat. Hanukkah is coming, so shred those taters fast. Be thankful it's a holiday where you don't have to fast.
Well, that was tedious.
This episode, even for a Christmas special, is pretty damn clunky. Sure, it is kind of interesting that they bring up God in this, considering how much of a rarity that is in most kids' shows, but in the end, the whole God thing doesn't really amount to anything more than as an addition to Chucky's guilt. Speaking of which, wouldn't it have been more interesting if Chaz knew all along and was just going over the top to guilt trip and mess with his son? Well, yeah, it would have been. But it also would have been a huge mistake because the first rule of Christmas is...
Don't fuck with the Chuck!
You have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once. I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just